Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3, now reportedly looking at October 3rd as a targeted date for obvious reasons. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang. Please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Sign up for ESPN Plus below using my link. It does help the channel. This might be a great time for you and your loved ones, your family, since a lot of people are locked down. Not everyone's at work, quarantine, and whatnot as we deal with this madness. So if you would like to sign up for ESPN Plus, you can do that below. If you want to get it as a standalone, you can do that. They have great programming. Normally they have live sports, which is kind of on hiatus right now, but they still have a backlog of content. Or you can bundle ESPN Plus with Hulu and Disney Plus, all three of those apps, for $12.99. Now, the Sun, link in the description, it says American Trilogy, Tyson Fury rematch with Deontay Wilder, date and location confirmed with October 3rd fight in Las Vegas. Says Tyson Fury's trilogy of fights with fierce rival Deontay Wilder will go ahead on October 3rd, according to reports. The Gypsy King will defend his newly crowned WBC against Bronze Bomber under the lights in another Las Vegas showdown. Despite reports the fight could go ahead this summer, a scrap was always preferred to take place towards the end of the year. And now The Athletic, and they link to it, write that a date and location has been confirmed after Wilder exercised the rematch clause days after his stunning defeat last month. The impact coronavirus has had on the sport has not only affected the date with Wilder, preferring to prepare physically and mentally for the rematch. Fury 31 schooled the American in their second bout, forcing Mark Breland to throw in the towel in the 7th. Wilder was furious with the decision and threatened to sack long-term trainer, who was left in tears after being shunned from the dressing room. I don't know what that's about. It was the first defeat of his professional career 14 months after a highly controversial draw. Wilder blamed the defeat on the 45-pound walk-in costume by claiming it made his legs weak. So they're saying that's a new date. Their October rematch means an undisputed heavyweight showdown with Anthony Joshua will not happen this year. I don't know why people keep talking about that. The only people that I told you, Eddie Hearn and Team Joshua, they were clout chasing. They were never part of this equation. This was always in the cards to have a trilogy for these two. Bob Arum, even before the pandemic broke out and the NBA canceled their season or, postponed it or whatever, all this stuff happened. Bob Arum told you that they may not choose the July date anyway because they might want more time to prepare for the third fight. This was before the pandemic. So, the only people who were really talking up the Joshua Fury undisputed were mostly Eddie Hearn and his cronies, or UK fighters or fight fans from the UK, stuff like that. It says boxing fans were hoping for an all-British showdown, but I ain't even gonna read that part. Y'all can read that part. But even the fight is in doubt after COVID, yeah. So they're saying that's the new date. That's what you guys need to know. There's a lot going on. Fury has glove gate, board gate. He has some controversies. He looks like he's working out at home, trying to stay in shape. And Wilder just took his first professional loss, first time losing his belt since getting it in the first Bermain-Stavern fight. People are going to want to see it. They want to see how Wilder deals with it. He also had the 45-pound costume, which I think people are taking out of context. Everybody keeps talking about this costume. I mean, most likely it was something he was asked about and people blew it out of proportion. They asked, what do you think went wrong? And he said, I didn't have no legs from the beginning. And the funny thing is, I forgot who it was, but it was a fighter or a trainer or somebody that I recently did an interview. It might have been Buddy McGirt. And Buddy McGirt said something to the effect of, I was watching the fight in the first 2 rounds, something looked wrong with Wilder, like he didn't have no legs. And this is what Wilder claimed. So, that whole 45-pound costume, people turned it into a joke because he came out in this elaborate costume. But I told you from the beginning, I don't doubt that this 45-pound costume played a part in Wilder, his performance. Me, I didn't like Wilder saying it just because you know how it's going to be received. It's going to be received as like, oh, you're making excuses and stuff. So you might as well just correct it going forward. But people just blew it out of proportion. This is foolish. This is ridiculous. But I said it from the beginning. He looked like something was wrong with him. At first, he just looked real statuesque and stoic. I was like, oh, he's just really in kill mode. You know what I'm saying? He's just ready to have at it. But then even when he was in the ring, he was like blinking weird and stuff. And you got to look at things. Boxing is psychological, and it's possible that if you put something in your head, like if you were just hear me out. If you're upset that you got the costume the night before and it's heavier than you anticipated, and you let that get to you and weigh on your conscience, and you don't just drop it and move past it and do what you got to do, then like I said, boxing psychological. So if you're putting and pumping in negative thoughts, then it's possible you have a off night, and that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? It looked like something was wrong with him when he got in the ring. I before the bell, before Tyson Fury game plan, he just looked off. I told you, he took the mask off and it looked like something was in his eye. I don't know if that LED light was bothering him because this stuff started to glow. And, he looked like he just woke up from a nap and was groggy, didn't want to talk to nobody. And family members are asking him, questions, and he don't feel like dealing with nobody. He just looked kind of like almost grumpy, if you will. So it is what it is. The third fight is going to be bigger. A lot of controversies, a lot of, talking points and stuff like that. But I think a lot of people are making too much of the costume. And I don't, truth be told, I don't doubt that the costume played a part, because like I said, boxing is mental. So if you allow it to play a part and, this is in your head and you just keep thinking about how the costume's heavy, you can psychologically basically psych yourself out. Me, I personally didn't think he should have said the costume thing, because again, it's going to be received wrong, and people just, oh, you're making excuses, and it sounds kind of crazy. If you just hear it, oh, he lost because his costume, you're like, what? So it sounds crazy. But once again, this is what old media does. They take little things like that and make a huge deal about that. But then when Tyson Fury has all these scandals, they don't really talk about that. But nonetheless, the fight happening at a later date actually benefits Wilder more than if it were to happen straight away in July, because he has to probably figure out what went wrong and, see what he's going to do. Some people speculate he might add someone to his team. Possibly, it was rumored that he would subtract someone from his team. We haven't really heard much from Wilder. All we heard is that he's rematching him and he's issuing that, and he did like one video, but he's kind of been off the radar, which I think is a good thing. He should take this time to just unwind and relax, spend time with family. Now, obviously he didn't, at the time he recorded the video, we didn't know about the pandemic. So he's probably just quarantining or something, but I can't wait. I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be a great fight to see. And if Wilder ends up beating Fury, there's going to be some iconic stuff, but they got to look at Fury's gloves with all the glove gate stuff that's going on. So it should be a fair fight. We should get a perfectly fair fight, because the loose gloves and, the weird stuff, I think that's going to be on people's mind and the commission and stuff. They can't afford to have no more floppy glove videos and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. Let me know what you guys think. It looks like the new date should be maybe in October, but we have to see how this pandemic pans out. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. We work. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.